Getting confident in front of the camera is actually a skill that can be learned. And because a lot of you have asked me, how did I get camera confident? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what I used to do and the things that I practice on a daily to ensure that I stay camera confident. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Gloria and let's get to it. The first thing that I'll tell you is you need to master your mind, because the only thing that's stopping you from becoming confident on camera is the things that you're telling yourself when no one is watching. And so this is the thing that, or rather this is the practice that I would advise you take on when you're trying to become camera confident. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to find your ick or your judgment factor in your brain, because a lot of us convince ourselves that we can't be confident on camera. A lot of us convince ourselves that this is not for us. A lot of us convince ourselves that this is too embarrassing for you to actually show yourself and show up in front of a camera. But it doesn't have to be that way, because either way you still want to do this, you still want to show up in front of the camera. You need to master the courage of actually sitting down and shooting yourself. You need to find your ache and find that thing that's causing you judgment inside your brain and deal with it. The second thing that I would advise you tell yourself, or I would advise you actually practice more in, is easing yourself into content creation in front of a camera. And easing yourself in front of the camera, or rather easing yourself to create content when a camera is on your face, will require you to actually practice more than you think. And it's another point where we're going to talk deeply about when it comes to practice. But essentially, you need to get your mindset, or you need to get your brain to ease into you being in front of a camera. Because essentially, when you are in front of a camera, this is not a normal thing to do, honestly, because no one speaks to a camera confidently. No one speaks to a camera so comfortably the way I do without some years of experience under your belt. And so you need to figure out how you're going to be easing yourself into the content creation mode and having a camera in front of your face. And then the third thing that I would give you, I think this is an unconventional advice, is you need to do it scared. Do it with your fear. Do it while you're fearing, because a lot of us usually stop or usually don't take action towards filming ourselves with a camera because we don't know what is on the other side of fear. And so if you just do it scared, if you just do it for doing it, if you just say, you know what, I'm not going to think too much about it, I'm just going to commit and I'm going to start doing it, you will actually find out that you're not going to die at the end of the fear. Once you've done it scared and you actually review your video and you see, I actually did it, your brain will actually stop releasing the hormones that are going to protect you from actually doing anything in front of the camera. The second thing that you would need to start doing is practice. You need to start filming yourself. Even if you know whatever you're filming, you're not going to actually post it on social media, or you're not going to post it for your family to see. And so in order for you to practice, you really need to master the art of just doing things on your own. So when you're at home, when you're cooking, when you're trying to, do things out of the blue, or even do the mundane tasks and responsibilities you have in your house, you can decide to pull up a camera, because nowadays we have really great phones which have really great quality camera. Like right now, what I'm filming with is my phone, and you can be able to just start practicing. Practice the way you talk in front of a camera. Just record yourself filming yourself doing something, talk to the camera, look at the lenses. Just get yourself into this habit of filming videos, even though you know they are never going to see the light of day. The third tip that I would give you about getting camera confident is you will need to start getting prepared for your filming days. So that means essentially you're going to work out whatever you need to work out on your end that will make you confident outwardly. So for me, what that usually looks like is I am going to sit down and I'm going to decide what kind of clothes I'm going to wear, what kind of lip gloss I will be wearing for that particular video, as well as the jewelry that I usually have on my YouTube videos. Now, this ensures that I am confident in front of the camera, because when I look good, I also feel good, and I can be able to show up confidently in front of the camera. And this doesn't just happen for my YouTube content, it also happens for the workshops as well as the sessions and the speaking gigs that I usually get virtually that will require me to turn on my camera. So you need to start figuring out what makes you confident, what makes you feel good in your skin, what makes you comfortable, and you are going to be wearing whatever that is so that you are outwardly comfortable and you can be confident in front of the camera. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to lean into using your imagination. Now, in order for you to be able to actually show up confidently in front of a camera, you need to start using your imagination, especially until you get to that point where you are comfortable doing whatever it is you are actually doing in front of the camera. You need to use your imagination, and specifically, you need to use your imagination and just imagine yourself in a room with a friend and you're going to talk to that friend. Because the easiest way for you to get confident in front of the camera is to get yourself to actually remember the kind of conversations or to role play the kind of conversations you usually have when you are in front of someone or when you're face to face with a person, especially your friend. Because a lot of us usually have that jittery feeling when we are not speaking to our friends, or rather when we are speaking to something in the void. A lot of us are usually uncomfortable. And so when you use your imagination and you think that, oh, I'm not just talking to a camera, I'm actually talking to my friend. This is a video that my friend will see. This is when I turn on my camera, this friend of mine at work is going to see me. And that will give you the initial excitement of actually being confident and trying at least to get comfortable in front of a camera. The other point I would give you is you need to commit to a goal. So you need to sit down and actually set a goal of how you are going to prepare, or rather how you're going to practice the skill of being in front of a camera, honestly. And so you're going to sit down and you're going to ask yourself, why do you want to do this? How long will it take you to do this? And challenge yourself essentially. Now, one of the key things that I've seen, or one of the things that I've seen trending online, especially for people who are new to this in creating content and being in front of a camera, I've noticed that a lot of people are committing to a 30-day camera confidence challenge. Others are committing to a 75-day camera sprint. Others are committing to 90 days until I get camera confident. And so you can partake this as a challenge for yourself and practice building that particular confidence, building that particular skill set, especially if this is something that doesn't come naturally to you. And the good news is, speaking in front of a camera, being in front of a camera, presentation skills is actually a skill that you can learn. And so if you commit to learning, if you commit to a goal, and you actually hit your objectives every single day when you are building this particular skill set, you are going to become very confident when you sit in front of a camera. The next tip that I would give you is you need to start visually tracking your progress. Now, one of the key things that really helped me become confident in front of the camera back in the day when I was starting my content creation journey was visually tracking. I'm a visual learner, and I'm someone who actually gains confidence from visually seeing progress. And so this is something that I would actually advise you to do as well, especially if you're getting started with your journey and you're a beginner. One of the key things that's really going to help you stick the course and learn this particular skill is actually visually seeing the progress you're making. So every single day, if it's a 30-day challenge or a 75-day challenge, or whichever, how long this particular challenge you're taking by yourself to learn how to be in front of a camera is going to take, you are going to visually track the progress you're making. So if you one day, say for example day one, you misspelled a word, but you're able to look in front of the camera, or rather look into the lens when you're filming, you're going to congratulate yourself for that. And then the next day, you're going to check, what did I do different in this particular day? Probably you are able to speak confidently, or rather speak fluently in that particular video, and you're going to track that. When you get to the next day, you're going to track how easy it was for you to change the angles that you had in that particular filming session, and so on and so forth. Because when you visually see the progress that you're making, you will be able to keep on going until you get to the point where this comes naturally to you. Kind of like how it's coming naturally to me right now. But it wasn't always like this. I had to figure out a way of how I was going to stay in the path. And for me, that was visually tracking my progress as I continued practicing on how to become good in front of a camera. And so that is it with this particular video. I'm hoping that you guys found it helpful. If you did, then make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I am open to hearing what your concerns would be with regards to becoming a content creator. So if you have any questions with regards to that, feel free to let me know in the comment section. But otherwise, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and as always, I will see you in the next one.